This morning, we're going to tell you what's happening with one of the most popular shows on Canadian television. You need no more than to hear the opening bars of the theme, I'm sure, Murdoch Mysteries. The show is back in production after months of coming to a halt, as production everywhere did, because of COVID-19. Looking at some behind-the-scenes footage there, it's going to tell us what we're going to talk about with a very special guest. Good morning, Detective.
Good morning.
Hi, Yannick Bisson, of course, Detective William Murdoch with me from Toronto. I'm so glad to see you.
I'm glad to see you. Thank you very much for talking to us.
Well,
we
listen.
were just up and we're excited to talk to everybody, let them know that we are back.
I was going to say, my main job this morning for these next few minutes is to reassure your fans that there will be a season 14 of Murdoch Mysteries. How does it feel to be back in production?
Pretty great. It was a quick ramp up. I went straight from doing not a whole lot, as you know, and then right into prep for directing the first 2 episodes, and obviously being on camera as well. So it was a steep ramp up, and we're hard at it now.
Well, we have some footage, as I was just mentioning. Let's show some more of that, sort of behind the scenes of you at work directing. And you can see in these images that the set looks very different. Tell me about how you've adapted and the changes you've made, Yannick, in terms of what happens in the shooting.
Well, we have to observe all of the protocols that have been laid out for us. We're the first out the gate, really, in terms of being to camera. So we have to really set the pace. We have to wear masks. We have to observe social distancing. We have to do all of the different things. For instance, our masks only come off the moment we are rolling camera, and then they come right back on. And even within that, the actors keep a safe distance apart. It's different. And then on top of that, as a director, I have to, sort of put headphones on and my eyeglasses. I wear glasses to see, and all of these things just kind of conspire against you in a day. But it's nothing anybody hasn't come across. So we're making it work.
I can see that. You can see that it's the crew as well, not just the actors. It's also all the camera crew as well. Probably a lot of hand washing and sanitation and all of that as well. But if you have to do that, if you're just taking the mask off and you have to keep social distancing, how do you deal, Yannick, with crowd scenes? And how do you deal with any love scenes? Or will there be any in season 14?
Crowd scenes, we're able to do that with lens compression. We're able to, make it look a lot more populated than it is by stacking people. There are limitations. Those people have to be processed and have hair, makeup, wardrobe as well. So we can only do so much. So there'll be less of that this year. And certainly physical contact between 2 actors, any sort of romantic stuff, that at a certain point, you are within each other's bubble, as they say, similar to your family, because we spend so many hours together, working closely together, that you, at a certain point, you have to sort of trust that person's being safe, you're being safe, and then, we have the sort of hug here and there, but I don't think you're going to see anybody, lip walking or anything like that.
Not in this season. We'll have to wait for season 15, hopefully, when we're back, hopefully, to more normal. I remember when everything shut down throughout the television production world, one of the big issues was insurance for productions. How did you navigate that issue?
It's ongoing, actually, because it's early days still for any sort of insurance. There's no way to actually insure against COVID. So you have to take precautions, as we are doing. We have to observe all of the protocols that we've paid a huge amount of money to have these consultants come in and give us sort of guidelines that they would in a hospital situation. And we're just going with that. And if someone does get ill, we'll deal with it when we do. But there is no one offering any type of insurance, or anything of the like right now.
It's interesting.
There's no. there's no vaccine. There's no,
Right.
we don't know.
Now, it's been an issue from the start, and obviously it still is. You are so interesting, the plot lines always and the mysteries that you tackle. Is there any way of bringing pandemic or plague at all into the season at all in terms of the things that you talk about?
Well, we're a few years off of the Spanish flu still, so we don't want to mess with that one too much. But I have sort of, certainly in the episodes that I'm directing, I have tipped the hat a little bit. I had a scene that was meant to take place in a diner with two people, and I brought the scene out onto the sidewalk and put another little table just a certain distance away and had people going in and out of the diner with paper bags, just as a little ode to 2020 a little bit. But so far we're not really doing that.
No.
I know that some shows they are actually going to be wearing masks and doing things like that. It's a choice.
That's okay. Now we have that little artistic touch that we'll watch for when we finally see these on air. Listen, since people watch these will be happy to see us, as I said, your fans interested in the show back in production, but also in you. How have you been through all of this, and what have you been doing and thinking about?
Well, the things that I really sort of came across in my personal life was I sort of started getting down and wanted to sort of dismantle and look at what was causing that and why. And one of the things that I really observed was that I'm a person that likes nature a lot. I like to be outside. I like to, participate in activities that are outside and get my blood going. And so that was really helpful. And I also started to notice that, I'm not a person that's comfortable with living in the question, not knowing things. What's going to happen next week? What's going to happen the week after that? I am not comfortable living that way. And had to do that, just like pretty much everybody. And so it was a whole new me, I think, on the other side, because you can never really go back once you've really observed those things about yourself and done work on yourself about that. There's a sort of a surrender, and I think it's been good for me.
Yeah, sounds like time well spent in personal reflection and understanding. That's great.
Yeah.
And connection with nature, that's been so important to so many. Listen, what will be important to so many is getting back to some regular favorite entertainment, and you're going to provide that with Murdoch. Season 14, Yannick, thank you as always. It's always a treat to have you on the show. See you again soon, I hope.
Yes, ma'am. Ciao.
Bye.